Junaid Guy, back at you with another one. In the house, read all about it. This video is about the student who knows all about it. You know, we can all ask ourselves the questions. In my last video, I covered why study. And this is a roll on effect from that video as to the student who knows all about it. You know, you ever know someone? You ever know someone? I know a lot of people. They know all about it before you do. They know all about it even though you do. And it's just crazy. So I want to share in this video a quick aspects of your thought process when going into study or when dealing with someone who should be learning from you or you're supposed to be teaching. But this is really directed at the student, any student, male or female, who, or when we're talking about students, we're not just talking about university or college, undergrad or postgrad, we're talking about anybody in the aspects of learning. So, yeah, I'm just going to jump straight in with it. You know, I'm wearing my new t-shirt, AIA, and it says committed. Am I committed? Yes, I'm trying to be committed. I'm not a YouTuber. I am new to all this gimmick, but please bear with me. I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to be perfect, but what I'm trying to do is share the information that I have with people out there where I believe that it will be warrant and they're in need of it. Have you ever wondered and think, you know, I wish I had an older brother. I wish I had an older sister. I wish my dad was with me. I wish my mom was with me. They would be able to impart learning to me based and from their experience. Okay? And if we don't have that, we'll definitely like someone to share things with us. And I'm that go-to guy. Yeah? I'm trying to share the things I've learned and my knowledge with wider public, and hope that we all take some benefit from this. Right. The student who knows all about it. On the subject of learning itself, we're talking. The first datum of learning, or first datum to learning, and the primary obstacle to overcome is you cannot study a subject if you think you know all about it to begin with. So I'll say that again. You cannot study a subject, you cannot learn a subject if you know all about it to begin with. Well, if you know all about it to begin with, why study the subject? Because you don't need to be told anything. You cannot be taught. The irony of that is, on the flip side, we can do something about it. But what can we do about it? A student who thinks he knows all about there is to know about a subject will not be able to learn anything in that subject. That subject which he or she is studying. A student who thinks he knows all there is to know about the subject that he or she is studying will not be able to learn anything in it, that subject, which he or she is studying. Why? A person might already be familiar with a subject, and that's normal. We all gain experience through different things with that subject from previous and past experience. And having had success in that field, now his idea that he knows all about it. So because he has some experience, he or she had some experience in that field, come to study that subject, now they feel they know all about it. Wrong and a question mark. And why I say wrong and a question mark is that in such a person then took a course in that subject, if such a person was then to take a course in that subject, he would be studying through a screen. he or she would be studying through a screen. And when I talk about a screen of the mind, what it perceives that I already know, and I'm looking through what I already know, so I know all there is to know about that. If I knew all about this, with that obstacle in the way, one can become completely bogged down. With that in the way, and that is an obstacle, one, he or she, would be completely bogged down in his studies, in his or her studies, and not make forward progress. So you will bog down that study and you will not make no forward progress. Right? This is true for the student of any subject. This is true for any student of any subject and in any field this applies to. If one can decide that he does not already know everything about a subject and can stay or say to himself, here is something to study. Let's study. Let's study it. He can overcome this hurdle as a obstacle and be able to learn or study. Okay? He can overcome this hurdle as well as of the obstacle that's now in the way and being able to study. This is very, very, very important. Okay? This concept of thinking and rationalization is vitally important, very, very important, and can be an important source of reference. And when I say reference, the point where you take this from, source of reference when taking study into doing or considering. Yeah, this, what I'm sharing, becomes the most important datum for a student if he or she can understand this and apply it. The gateway to knowledge is wide open to him or her. Okay, so I reiterate that this is very, very important. So important as a source of reference when taking study into doing or consideration. This, what I am sharing, becomes the most important datum for any student. If he or she can understand this aspect, this, and applies it, then the gateway to knowledge is wide open to him or her being successful in his studies. So you might have come across someone, as soon as you go to tell them something, I know it. I know about that. So before you even utter a word, they know all about it. And that phrase stick in my mind, read all about it, the news. People whose mouths are ahead of them, they know what is happening before you do. And these are the same sort of people or same students who know all about it before they learn about it. And so that becomes an obstacle, a hurdle in the way, and it's going to be a barrier to their studies. We talked about in my last video about the barriers to study. Even before we get to the barriers of studying, mass, absent of mass, the gradient too steep, misunderstood word, misunderstood definition. Before you even get to that, you have a barrier, a hurdle, which is even can be greater than the 3 barriers to learning. These can be in the way and can block you from completely completing any studies or successfully completing any studies. So I hope this is needed, and like, subscribe, and share this information, and just share it with your friends and families, and stay in tune for the next video, which work in progress. So this is Junaid Guide, back at you with another one. I'm out.